Guys, this is Debate Me with an update on the attack on the Capitol. A Capitol officer has died as a result of that attack. We didn't have a lot of information earlier. I got more details now. It just popped up on my Bloomberg. So this just popped up here, 1755 on Bloomberg. Capitol police officer killed after man rammed checkpoint. Suspect was shot and killed by police. Acting chief says terrorism not suspected in event less than 3 months after riot. One U.S. police officer died Friday, and another was injured as officers fatally shot a knife-wielding man after he crashed a car into a security checkpoint outside of the Capitol building in an incident that officials say does not appear to be terrorism related. The suspect rammed his car into two officers shortly after 1 p.m., then slammed into a raised retractable barrier, got out of his car, flashing a knife, and began lunging forward. Capitol police officers, acting chief Yogananda Pittman told officers. Our officers then engaged the suspect. He did not respond to verbal commands, she said. The suspect did start lunging towards the U.S. Capitol police officers, at which time Capitol police officers fired upon the suspect. At this time, there does not appear to be an ongoing threat. Now, this is the Debate Me channel. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and click on the like button and subscribe. I welcome you to go ahead and smash that bell. Welcome aboard. Now, I'm going to tell you about, because we focus a lot on media bias. So I'm going to give you my projections on how this is going to be covered, right-wing versus left-wing media. So definitely want to stay tuned for that. But right now, take a look at this.
And I'm Ginger Gatz, and Lisa Bell is off tonight. A Capitol police officer is dead after investigators say a man rammed a car into two officers at a barricade outside of the Capitol building. News 6 anchor Matt Austin joins us now. And Matt, police just named the veteran officer who was killed in all of this.
Yeah, Ginger, just minutes ago, Capitol Police identified that officer as William Billy Evans, and they released a picture of him, too. So with a statement saying, Officer Evans was a member of the United States Capitol Police for 18 years. He began his service on March of 2003. The crash and shooting happened just after 1 this afternoon when police responded to reports of a driver ramming a car into two Capitol police officers and a barricade on Constitution Avenue. It's a security checkpoint near the Capitol building there. That's when investigators say the driver of the car emerged with a knife in his hand, started to run at the pair of officers before stabbing one of them. Officers then shot at the suspect at the hospital. So far, the Capitol Police acting chief has not identified the suspect.
So it's interesting that he ran at the police officers with a knife. I know this is a point police officers like to use a lot to justify use of force, but he ran at them with a knife, right? At a group of officers. So not one officer, but multiple, according to what he's saying here. And somehow was able to stab one of the officers before they were able to stop him by shooting him. Now, we don't have the exact details of the distance and all that kind of stuff. Back turn, who knows, right? We got to always, context matters. But even if that's not the case here, it is a reality that a person with a knife can actually be a serious threat to a police officer who is actually better armed with a gun. It's based on distance, based on time. You'll be surprised how much damage someone can inflict with just a knife, right? If they were able to get within a certain distance of the officer. Now, there's two sides to both stories. It is my opinion that a lot of officers use that fact as a justification for their excessive use of force in inappropriate situations. But just because there are cops who abuse this reality doesn't make it any less true. It is a reality that you cannot just look at someone who simply has a knife as they're not a big deal. There's a lot of other factors that you have to consider. Again, the distance, right? Very important.
She says there wasn't an ongoing threat and the attack did not appear to be related to terrorism, though the Capitol was put on lockdown as a precaution. This is now the second line of duty death this year for the department since that January 6th. There also doesn't appear to be an immediate connection between today's attack and the riot back on the 6th. Metropolitan Police.
All right, so let's talk about media bias. So here are my predictions, and we'll do a quick check right here as well. You've got a lot of phony people in the media. Media, it's a business. It's really about advertising. They want to present a space at which advertisers can advertise their products, right? So they just want to get the largest audience, so therefore they can make the most money from the advertisers. Always remember that's what the news media is all about. CNN, Tim Pool, the Young Turks, David Pittman, right? Newsmax, Blaze TV, Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder. They are in the business of advertising, right? They produce a space at which advertisers can use to advertise their product. So ultimately, in most cases, from my observations, you're going to see that the focus is let's get the most views, clicks, and engagement. Let's say whatever and cover whatever that will give us the most impact. So if I'm liberal media, I don't want to show left-wing extremists because the truth hurts. I've got an audience that may not want to see people that are associated with their political ideology in a negative light, right? You do that, and then they say, oh, what is this, Fox News, right wing? That's the thing, right? And it's two sides of the same coin in this country. You have two sides that think they're so different, but they're very much alike. To someone from the outside looking in, right, observing both sides and how they act, it's two sides of the same coin. One side of the coin is definitely much more dirty than the other, but it's not a competition. What matters is there's a lot of similarities with both sides. So on the right-wing side, you'll see the exact same behavior, right? Don't want to show Donald Trump in a negative light, right? The money's in going after the libs, owning the libs, going after Biden, whether it's warranted or not. Make stuff up, exaggerate it, right? Same way the left will do. Now, the left has had a really easy job because you've had a very, very corrupt president. So you could just, close your eyes and it's easy to throw darts at him because he's a really good target. He does a lot of really bad stuff. But they're so greedy, right? The media, it's all about the money and views, that a corrupt president like Donald Trump, who's a gold mine, it's not enough for them. They have to exaggerate as well. Some stuff is borderline making it up and lying, and right, not as much as the right wing, but it's not a competition. Wrong is wrong. I don't care who's doing it more than the other side, right? The goal should be to have integrity and do the right thing. Tell the truth, be objective, right? Don't be a propagandist. Not, oh, as long as I'm not as bad as the other side, it's okay. No, it's not okay. Propaganda is propaganda, right? Higher level, lower level, it's still propaganda. If you're not being objective, if you're not calling out both sides, it's propaganda. So what's going to happen with this story? Well, you have a side of the media, a conservative side, that again, a lot of fake in the media, liberal and conservative. So what's one of the fake things with conservative media? Oh, the police. We love the police. Pro-police. Oh, anytime the left is talking about police are bad or whatever, we got to jump in and, blue lives matter. Nonsense. Nonsense. Remember the goal. Advertising. Pandering is very effective. If you have a conservative audience, you have a lot of people that are supposedly pro-police. But even your audience, from what I've seen, the actual conservatives themselves, beyond the media, what I've seen is, especially January 6th, this whole Blue Lives Matter, all that kind of stuff, it's not what they make it out to be. Just like Black Lives Matter, the organization is not quite what a lot of people think it is, right? Interestingly enough, Black Lives Matter folks go out there and say Black Lives Matter. And interestingly enough, we kind of see this Blue Lives Matter almost coming as a response to it. Not as a just, we love the police, we support the police. No, it's a Black Lives Matter, Blue Lives Matter, right? And these are little clues that kind of get you closer to the truth. A lot of these folks don't really care about the cops. It's the own the libs thing, right? If the libs are Black Lives Matter, well, we're going to be Blue Lives Matter. Do you really care about the cops? No. Look at what happened on January 6th. And overall, conservatives could not care less. They all pretended to care on the 6th and the 7th, and then they vanished for months. Came back for AOC. Oh, I could have died at an event where people died. That's what got them back after months of ignoring all of the videos that kept coming out of cops getting attacked. American flags, nonetheless. You would think people who care about the cops would be man, this is disgusting, and they would be sharing it on their Instagrams and sharing it on their Twitter accounts and talking about, look how disgusting this is, the same way they would do for an Antifa attack or a Black Lives Matter attack, right? And they were those things, and I covered them, right? We had people who, under the banner of Black Lives Matter were attacking people, right? They put that stuff out. All this stuff about the cops, let's let the liberal media, there's enough of it in liberal media. We don't need to add to it. So what's going to happen with this? If they care about cops, then they will be all talking about this. This is sad. This is messed up. I don't think they're going to want to talk about this. You're not going to see a lot of coverage. I don't think Steven Crowder is going to make a video. I don't think Ben Shapiro is going to make a video. I don't think Blaze TV is going to make a video. Fox News, yes, they're a big network. They cover a lot of things. However, I can almost guarantee you they're all going to be looking at this and hoping that the person who shot the cop has skin like me. Not saying they're racist. They don't have to be racist to be exploitative, shall we say. So if the guy has skin color like me, they'll probably want to talk about it. Pandering. If there's any association at all to Black Lives Matter, Antifa, this guy could have shook the hand of somebody who lived across the street from an Antifa member 10 years ago. They're going to jump in, and Tim Pool's going to look, this guy, and he shook the hand of a guy who lived across from Antifa, and I don't know. I'm not saying it's Antifa, but, right? They're going to play those games. They're only interested in angles that they can profit from, just like the liberal media does. These guys are disgusting. They're dishonest. They are manipulative. They are propagandists, and Tim Pool is one of the best in the business. He may cover this. I don't think he really wants to. And if he does cover it, he's going to find an angle. Another thing that will bring them in terms of conservative media is that the liberal media makes a fool of themselves, which they often do. Maybe they push a narrative of the Capitol being attacked again and January 6th thing, and all the evidence suggests that this has nothing to do with it, right? Then all of a sudden, conservative media is going to pretend like they're the better ones and we wouldn't do something like that. And look at liberal media trying to make association, blah, 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 right? This is Tim Pool who did a video talking about a woman taking a photo in an elevator, pretending like she took the photo in the court, George Floyd case, right? Got his audience all wound up, taking pictures, trying to reveal people in an elevator, right? So unless there's an angle to own the libs and look what liberal media is doing, or if the person has my complexion or Black Lives Matter or Antifa or any association at all, 6 degrees of separation from Antifa or Black Lives Matter, they're going to want to talk about it, and they're going to, of course, focus on that detail. Those are my expectations. We shall see whether I'm right or wrong. I'm usually right. Not always, but usually. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.